Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Draft Countdown Mock Draft Simulator Series. Today, we're looking at the Los Angeles Chargers. New regime, right? Jim Harbaugh comes over from Michigan after winning a national championship to be the new head coach. No more Tom Telesco as the general manager. Either we now have GM Joe Ortiz running the personnel department for LA. So we'll see how things go. A lot of holes on this team, right? Both wide receivers from a year ago, Keenan Allen, traded to the Bears. Mike Williams, a cap casualty, signing with the Jets. Everything's shaping up here for the Chargers. We also basically got Joey Bosa on a new deal, like a 1 year, 2 year deal max. Khalil Mack also restructured his deal, so he's a free agent soon. A whole lot of changes coming here to the Chargers. And you're also going to have, like I said, you're going to have a personnel thought process change too with a new GM, new head coach. You know, we think we know how Jim Harbaugh is going to want to build this team, but we don't really know. So we're going to try to think like that a little bit here and guide us in the direction. But let's get started on the clock at pick 5, and we have seen 3 quarterbacks go in the top 3 as expected. J.J. McCarthy was maybe the surprise one that went ahead, but Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels both off the board. But surprisingly, at pick 4, the Cardinals selected Malik Neighbors here with our simulator. You know, and you hear some rumblings about that. So maybe that's what happens. And if that's the case, we now present a wide receiver needy team here in the Chargers with the best wide receiver in the draft, and a guy that Jim Harbaugh is very familiar with from his time at Michigan, and that is Ohio State wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. We're going to take him here. We're back now, and we're on the clock at pick 37 in the second round. When we get here now, we start looking at offensive tackle. We start looking at the interior offensive line. We start looking at pass rushers. We start looking at maybe even a linebacker, maybe even a corner. I'm looking at corner, and maybe we stave that off a little bit with the signing of free agent signing of Christian Fulton the other day. So that's probably not as pressing as it once was. Pass rusher is not immediate right this minute, right? Because we still do have Bosa, we still do have Khalil Mack, and they drafted Tuli Tuipulotu last year, who had a good rookie season. So like I said, that's not the most pressing immediate need, but we're going to give it a look to see if there's some guys there that we like. Don't be surprised if running back is not a target here. Maybe not at 37, but definitely at 69 in the third round. Like I said, offensive tackle and interior offensive line. They signed Bradley Bozeman. Maybe the intent there is for him to play right guard. Maybe Corey Linsley is going to slide over right guard. 2 years ago, they hit a home run there with Zion Johnson in the first round. So we're going to look at offensive tackle first, and I'm looking at Jordan Morgan here. I think would be a great guy to start there on the right side, replace Trey Pipkins, and give us some nice bookend tackles with Rashawn Slater, who's been nothing short of a stud. On the interior offensive line, I mentioned, I love the idea of Jackson Powers Johnson. And, you know, the thought that he could be slipping here is starting to pick up a little steam. So that's something to consider as well. And I said I wanted to look at edge. Chris Braswell still on the board here. Braylon Trice, the edge from Washington on the board. Guys, I will consider it 37. But I think the most pressing need we need to come here with is the offensive tackle. So we're going to take Jordan Morgan, the offensive tackle from Arizona. There's still some edge guys available. Braylon Trice has fallen on the board. He had not maybe an average combine, not a below average, but still on the board here. Like I said, that's a pick more to the future, but you have to think that Harbaugh's going to want to try to establish some identity on offense with a power run. They signed Gus Edwards. They drafted Isaiah Spiller 2 years ago in the 4th round. He's still on the roster. The rest of the running back room is kind of a miss. That being said, I would have loved to have seen Blake Corum on the board here for the Chargers. The Michigan running back has already been selected. I think that you could see Harbaugh staying with that Big Ten, and he's got a 240-pound running back on the board here that I know he would really love to have, and that's Wisconsin running back Braylon Allen. I think he's going to be the selection here at pick 69. We're up to now round 4 and pick 105. Chargers have 2 picks here in the 4th round, 105 and 110. So we're going to get a couple bites here, some depth, and looking at the edge, we haven't addressed defense at all. So I feel like that's where we're going to really need to go here with this first pick at 105. And I'm looking at the edge, and Brandon Dorlus is kind of like that tweener. Can play inside, can play outside. Probably a good fit here. What the Chargers are going to do defensively. See, he's still available. Pick 83. Didn't have the best Senior Bowl or the but he's was very productive at Oregon. Always seems to get his hand on the football, and I think that's a plus here, and especially at pick 105. I think it's good value to get someone like him. So we're going to select Brandon Dorlus, the edge / defensive line from Oregon. Like I said, we're right back up here with pick 110. And I wanted to look at the linebacker spot because I think that's a place we could use some help. I want to get a linebacker that can cover and a guy that can chase. I think that's what I'm seeing right here on the board with North Carolina's Cedric Gray. Loves to get in those passing lanes. And like I said, he's fast, can cover a lot of ground. I think he'll fit in this defense well. So we're going to take linebacker Cedric Gray, North Carolina, at pick 110. We're back now at pick 140, the 5th round. And like I said, now we're at the point of the draft. And I said on the last video I did, we're looking at guys that can contribute on special teams, looking for guys that can add depth to where we're at. So now's where I start looking at the corner spot. Like I said, we signed Christian Fulton. Says Asante Samuel Jr. entrenched at one corner spot. Well, we need to get some depth behind those guys. So that's where we start looking at corner here, and that's where I see a guy like Jarian Jones down here from Florida State. Is going to test as one of the most athletic, as the most athletic corner in this draft class, but had some troubles with his agilities at the pro day. Kind of bumped him down. Now he's only the 3rd most athletic corner in this class. But when you can get a guy like that at pick 140, to me, it's good value. So that's where we're going to go here with Florida State cornerback Jarian Jones. We're up to pick 181 of the 6th round. And now, like I said, we're going to add some more depth. We haven't attacked the interior of the offensive line yet, so that's where my focus is going to be here. And I see a guy like Tanner Bortolini still on the board. Nice center prospect out of Wisconsin. I don't know that he's actually going to be available here at 181, so I'm going to kind of ignore that he was. But a guy I've really come to like. He's really stood out when watching other players. He's rated 214 here by mock draft, the consensus on the mock draft database board. But I think he's a much better player than 214th best player in this draft class. And that's Matthew Lee, the center prospect, can play hard as well from Miami. The grading's not going to like it here, but I think he's a better fit of what I think might actually be on the board at 181. So give me Matt Lee. Back up now at pick 225 of the 7th round. Chargers have 2 7th-round picks. The first one here, added a receiver at pick 5 overall, Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to add another receiver here because currently, outside of the starters, you have 1 wide receiver on the roster. You have Quentin Johnson listed as a starter, Josh Palmer listed as a starter, Darius Davis, also a good return man, as a slot receiver, and then Simi Fehoko is the only other wide receiver on this roster. So there's probably going to come away with a double dip here at wide receiver. And that's kind of where we're at as well. So we've already added Harrison Jr. We're going to another athlete. And you know what? We haven't drafted a Michigan player yet. And Cornelius Johnson tested phenomenally at the combine. The best testing wide receiver. He's very obviously going to be very familiar to the coaching staff. A lot of them came over from Michigan. I think that's the easy pick here for the Chargers. And that's Cornelius Johnson, the wide receiver from Michigan at pick 225. Last pick at pick 253 in the 7th round. Add some depth on the defensive line, I think, right now on the interior. And as long as I guess he's not throwing helmets and grabbing them and trying to beat people with them like he did at Senior Bowl practice, Jordan Jefferson is a good a depth of guys you're going to get at this spot in the draft. So final pick of this Chargers draft, Jordan Jefferson, the interior defensive lineman from LSU at pick 253.